you have the Buffalo Bills now sitting 6-3. And the problem is it's the losses that they've had, right? You lost to the England Patriots, and it was a close game, actually, but now the Patriots are good. So is that really truly a bad loss? I get it. It was at home. And then, of course, you get blown out against Miami, and you kind of get worked against the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football, both on the road. Actually, all 3 losses on the road. So are the Buffalo Bills contenders or pretenders? This is All About the Balls podcast with Mark Davis, Kriska Meinhardt, Luke Rule, Jake Winnikine, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. Ladies and gentlemen, NFL Week 10 is in the books, and we're here to overreact to it. I'm Mark Davis. That's Luke Rule. And Luke, man, what a weekend we had, first off. Man, it was good to see you, man. Baltimore Ravens found a way to get to 4-5. They're one game back of the AFC North. UCF did suffer their first ever loss in Space U uniforms. So, Luke, how was the weekend?
Yeah, overall, pretty good weekend. I mean, we came down. You came down here to Nashville. We went to the Vandy game. Went and saw a thriller overtime game, front row for the Vandy game. So that was good. And just went exploring the town, going to a little bit of Broadway, a little bit of other bars off Broadway, Midtown, and East Nashville. But overall, drinks were had this weekend.
Drinks were had. Yes, they were had. I mean, there was spots that we were getting taken to, like some old school, like Texas bar, like 1950s and 40s music, the old Texas two-steps out there. And I mean, it was a good weekend, though. Like you said, I mean, we were front row. We could have really touched the players for Auburn. I mean, good seats, great game. Pavia did his thing. It was overtime. We were throwing these up all night long. But before, we got to watch Indiana against Penn State out there at one of the bars in Midtown. It was a good weekend. It was a hell of a weekend. Unfortunately, Atlanta lost, but Texas is number 10 in the CFP ranking, so we're not worried about the first 2 out. So it's good for me there. But no, it was good. It was a great weekend, Luke. Honestly, it was a fun weekend.
Yeah.
Happy Veterans Day, by the way, to everyone. Yeah. We are recording on Veterans Day, so happy Vets Day to everyone that has served. I know currently we're in active duty, not Veterans Day, but happy Veterans Day to the ones that have served too. So happy Veterans Day to everyone out there. Luke, but let's jump into it and let's talk the Seattle Seahawks. I want to kick off with the Seahawks first. And man, oh man, how hot are they? I understand they haven't played anyone good, but when you're kicking the shit out of every single team you're playing, I know there's that saying in college that good teams win, great teams cover. Well, the Seahawks, they've been on a roll. 38-14 against Commanders on Sunday night. This past week, 44-24, 27-19 against the Texans, 20-12 against the Jaguars. I mean, they're on a 4-game winning streak, undefeated on the road. Are the Seattle Seahawks legitimate contenders for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, this team is probably – they're playing as like one of the best teams in the NFL right now. This defense is just insane. It is just destroying the opposing team's offenses week in and week out. I think this defense had, 2 touchdowns this last week? Again, I think they've had multiple touchdown games multiple times this season already.
Marcus Lawrence, yeah.
Yeah, I know Sam Darnold didn't go off like he did last week, but still the offense is good. Two good running backs. JSN at wide receiver. So, and they got their new weapon. They were getting filtered in from the Saints, Rashid Shaheed. So he got a little bit of action. I'm sure we'll see a little bit more of him coming up soon. But as long as Sam Darnold keeps his, doesn't have his end of season collapse like he did last season with the Vikings, I think this team's got a real good shot to make a good playoff push this year.
I mean, like you said, this defense, I was high on them coming into the season, but they are the Legion of Boom 2.0. And like Richard Sherman said last Thursday, they were talking about the Seahawks, I believe it was last Thursday. It started up at the front. It wasn't just secondary. They're getting to the quarterback here. The 32 sacks, tied for second. They get the ball. They turn the ball over now. I know Darnold has a little bit of turnover problems, and I think they can work on that. I don't think it's that killer at the moment, but you have arguably the best receiver, probably the best receiver this year in football with Jackson Smith-Njigba. You have a good running back duo, Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton. You have you said Rashid Shaheed. You have 2 tight ends that they use at all costs with Barner and Arroyo, the rookie from Miami. An offensive line's pretty good too. Like, look, I'm if I'm going to Seattle, and I know they have 2 losses at home, I'd be scared, and I would not be confident that they can come in here and they're going to lose this game because they're undefeated on the road. So this Seahawks team, man, they're playing lights out. I don't get, and they have a tough test against the Rams, and we're going to start to see now against these good teams what they do. But let's act like they haven't beaten good teams yet this year. So I think the Seahawks, it's crazy to say, they're Super Bowl contenders. I really believe it.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else really in the NFC is like sticking out as being like a top team. That I've seen the Eagles struggle week in and week out. I know I get that they keep winning games somehow. Then I don't know who's your other the
Rams. The
Rams.
Yeah, which that's a big test this weekend.
Yeah, the Rams probably the second best team in the NFC right now, at least playing wise. I mean, they just put an ass whooping on the beat up Niners this week. So I mean, the Rams look good. So Seahawks Rams, this is gonna be a huge game this week. It could decide the number 1 seed for the NFC.
It honestly could, because you have to see. I mean, the Seahawks play the Rams obviously later in the year. This is the first time they play, but like you said, the NFC is not confident. You have the Eagles. Okay, I mean, I get it. They're the Eagles, but they haven't looked confident on offense. You have the Packers. I'm not high on them. The Bears, we're going to talk them. The Lions. I mean, which lines are we going to get each week? Now, I know we're going to talk them too. Motor City Dan Campbell's calling plays. The NFC South, I don't trust anyone in the South. If Baker gets maybe this whole team healthy again, maybe the Bucs can be special. But I think the top 2 teams right now are the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. And we get to see it this week in Los Angeles, obviously the 4 o'clock window. So, and I get if they lose, they lose. If it's a close loss, I'm not out on the Seahawks being contenders, because obviously you're going to lose games. But I just don't know how a team can go against this defense. And I don't know how you stop Jackson Jigba. They scheme up so perfectly, and he's a great route runner. He's got great hands. I just don't understand it. Like, he just seems relentless.
Yeah, I mean, this team is just right now, they just kind of look unstoppable. I don't have to look back at their losses. I would assume they
lost a close loss to the Bucs, 38-35. Remember that's when Baker got the ball last. And then they did drive the ball on the Niners 17-13, but the lineman ran to Darnold and he fumbled the ball. They were like the 15, 20-yard line on the Niners side. So unfortunately, the guy ran into Darnold, and Darnold did play bad. It was his first game as a Seahawk. I don't think they had him unleashed yet at the moment.
Yeah. So, I mean, two games that they could easily won at some point if they didn't have those mistakes or let Baker get the ball last.
Yeah, both losses were combined 7 points. Like, you lost 4 to the Niners, 3 to the Bucs. Yeah. And the Niners then were healthy, and the Bucs. I mean, I think we still think the Bucs can be good. Obviously, we'll see what the Bucs do at the end of the year. Luke, we talked the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Seahawks could be contenders. Are the Los Angeles Rams the best NFC team this year at this moment?
I mean, like we said, they're definitely in the conversation for it. I mean, Matthew Stafford's playing at an MVP level. He's playing great football. This defense is pretty nasty for the Rams as well. I know we were just hyped up the Seahawks, but this Rams defense is no joke either, especially with their D linemen, the two boys out of FSU. I mean, they're just fucking animals back there. And you got probably the number 2 wide receiver, maybe Puka Nacua.
No, top 10.
Yeah, he's up there. Then Devontae Adams is no slouch either. And I know you like Kyron Williams as their running back. So, I mean, they got a good team too. So, I mean, I can't wait to watch this game this week coming up.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, you also have you mentioned the Florida State boys, but you also have Brian Young. He's also got 9 sacks on the season. So he's their leading sack artist there. So you have 2 good pass rushers on the edge there with the Rams. And then you have Stafford supporting 2 top 10 receivers. You have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. And they run a tight end like revolving door where you have 4 guys who are just revolving around. Like, it's just, you have 4 guys. You have Higbee, you have the rookie, you have I'm drawing blanks now with them, but you have Ferguson's the rookie, you have Parkinson, you have Allen, Davis Allen, then you have, of course, Tyler Higbee. So they'll run all 4 of these tight ends, different drives. You don't know who's going to be the tight end, and Kyron Williams is Kyron Williams. Sean McVay, I think we all trust him to be a good coach. I think he's one of the better coaches in the NFL. The defensive coordinator is calling good defensive game plans, and the Rams are winning games too. Now they lost to the Eagles, unfortunate loss there, and I'm trying to see who the other loss was too. It was to the Niners, that crazy Thursday night game where it just seemed like the Niners were just unstoppable. But I don't know, man. I think the Rams, Seahawks, like I said, the top 2 teams, and they still play each other twice this year.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll be in for a couple good matches with them.
Oh, man, I'm excited.
Both teams stay healthy.
Yeah, because my Super Bowl pick is the Rams, but then I'm falling in love with the Seahawks team. I just like what I'm seeing from them. I like what I'm seeing from Mike McDonald as the head coach, Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinators, calling good offensive game plans. Darnold, I understand we saw this last year, but I just believe the Seahawks team, as good as the Vikings defense was last year, I believe the Seahawks defense this year is better. And I believe playing in Seattle, if they get that home game, is a lot harder. And they're a better road team than the Vikings were. So I don't think that it's a bad downfall if they don't win the division. And I don't know. It's about the Seahawks team. I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Yeah. These two NFC teams are probably the best two teams in the NFL currently.
Yeah, I mean, because the other side of the AFC, the Colts and Patriots are the top two. So, yeah, I mean, those are your top four. Luka, I mean, let's talk a team that has been having an interesting season, and I feel like they do this throughout each year. You have the Buffalo Bills now sitting 6-3, and the problem is it's the losses that they've had, right? You lost to the England Patriots, and it was a close game, actually, but now the Patriots are good. So is that really truly a bad loss? I get it was at home. And then, of course, you get blown out against Miami, and you kind of get worked against the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football, both on the road. Actually, all three losses on the road. So are the Buffalo Bills contenders or pretenders?
I mean, right now they seem kind of like pretenders to me. I don't like this defense. I've said it all year long that this defense is designed for one thing only, and that's beating Kansas City. And that's what they did. They run a light defense. Like they run they got two smaller linebackers, and everybody else is DBs besides their front four linemen. I mean, so they play 5-6 defensive backs, which plays into the hand trying to beat KC because KC doesn't run the ball. All they do is throw. But you've seen they get gashed week in and week out by the run. That's what the Falcons did to them. The Dolphins did to them. I know they beat the Ravens, but the Ravens did it to them too. So this defense is not big enough to stop the running. So, I mean, then Josh Allen's playing with wide receiver core. These dudes probably can't start on any other team.
And see, and that's the thing is, I saw it on Discord, and then they talked, and then literally today, my cousin's buddies posted it on their little sleep app that they use to talk, and they were comparing Tua and Josh Allen, and I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of, and I'm a Josh Allen fan, and everyone knows it, and everyone knows that it fires me up. But to sit here and say, well, Josh Allen's stats are similar to Tua is disrespectful. There are two guys in the NFL that don't have the luxury of having a superstar talent around them. That's Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I believe if you put Lamar or Josh on the San Francisco 49ers, because that's who he's getting paired to today, Brock Purdy, the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, the Bengals with Joe Burrow, and even the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, but I respect Patrick Mahomes, and Tua with Miami.
Either one of them on the Eagles would be fucking nasty.
Yeah, I said if you put Josh Allen on the Eagles last year, they get to the Super Bowl. If you put Jalen Hurts on the Bills, they don't get to the AFC Championship. And I believe that's the same case with the Niners, the Dolphins, and the Bengals. Both Lamar and Josh Allen can do it. Now, I get it. Josh Allen, he panics. He runs the ball a lot, but he doesn't have the receivers that's creating the space down the field. He doesn't have those monsters like he had with Stephon Diggs, where he could trust Diggs and actually let him work his routes. He doesn't have the luxury of all these weapons. Now, I know he's got James Cook. He didn't have Kincaid this past week against the Dolphins, and it showed. I believe the Bills are contenders because I believe if you have a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, your team can win on any given day. And it's solely on Josh Allen and James Cook, obviously, because he is a dog. I respect him as a player. Now, yes, some of these turnovers, 15-5. Okay, that's not terrible. A lot of the other guys have 15-5, but the fumbles got to cut it out. I agree. This defense, like you said, is too small. They can't stop throwing the 30th in the NFL and against the run. That is the third to worst team in the NFL against the run. I don't trust the defense, and that's why I believe Sean McDermott needs to get out of there if he can't win a Super Bowl. He's a defensive coach, and his defense sucks.
Yeah, I mean they're lucky they got Joe Brady over there making his offense go at least as best they can with what they have. I mean, this team yeah, you said they're contenders, but they're only contenders if Josh Allen's Superman. That's the only way they can contend. If Josh Allen plays an average game, they're probably going to lose just because it's kind of like their defense just can't stop anybody. So I mean, besides the Chiefs.
And I'll admit it, against the Patriots, he didn't look the best. Against the Falcons, he didn't look the best. And against Dolphins, that fumble, for example, he probably should have gone down. I know he got a lot of yards, but at that point, just go down. You're asking for trouble to happen. So did he play bad? Yes, but I believe he's got a lot more on his plate than these other quarterbacks have. Now, Mahomes is Mahomes. I respect him. Like I said, I respect Lamar. I think they're the top three quarterbacks in the NFL. So I believe if you drop these QBs in the luxury spots, they're going to be fine. I don't think it's a Josh Allen problem. I don't think he's overrated is what people are trying to throw around now, that narrative he's overrated. I don't think that. I think that the team is not good around him, and he's trying to do everything he can, and it's just there's only so much he can do.
Yeah,
I mean,
that sucks. I mean,
It
they
does.
do have a good offensive line, so I'll give them that. They got some dogs on the O line, but other than that, like that defense, nobody on the defense scares me.
No, Matt Milano's good, but he's banged up a lot. You lost Ed Oliver, which that's a big piece against the run. I mean, Ed Oliver is good. Greg Russo is pretty good too, but it's just like you said, outside those three, I don't fear anyone on that defense, and one's gone. So it's really Russo and Matt Milano if healthy.
Yeah, that's big if because I feel like he only played like half the season so
Yeah, I
far.
mean,
He's like in and out of the lineup.
And when he's in there now, since he's so banged up, it's like he's 100%. Like he's not playing his elite level that he can play. Which I mean, I'm saying he's not the top linebacker in the league, but he's no Scrouch either.
Yeah.
But Luke, let's talk to the New England Patriots. A team. Hey man, they're sitting here at first place in the AFC East at 8-2. Not the hardest schedule left. So Luke, are the New England Patriots going to actually secure the AFC East and actually put down the Bills this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, they're up 2 games or 2.5 games on the Bills now, right?
Yeah, they're 8-2, and the Bills are 6-3.
Yeah,
so
2.5 with a win over the Bills already this season. So they're up 2.5 games on the Bills. I mean, and they have the second easiest schedule remaining in the NFL. So they got an easy road. I think they get maybe 1 or 2 more losses this season, and that they may lose to the Bills and maybe the Ravens. It depends on how the Ravens is cooking by the time we play them. I think early December.
And they play them back to back. They host the. I'm sorry, actually, I apologize. They went into Buffalo and beat the Bills. So the Bills have one home loss, but yeah, they host the Patriots. Or I'm sorry, they host the Bills, and then the next week they go to Baltimore. So that's in my opinion, that's a tough 2-game stretch, and the Bills need for them to lose both games, and then if the Bills do win out, if they have the same record, you would need the Patriots to lose another game somewhere because tiebreaker at that point would go to the Patriots because you split head-to-head with a better division record. So the Bills do need a little bit of help. We saw this a couple of years ago with the Miami Dolphins. They were down, I think, 3 games with 5 left, and they end up winning the division. So they need the Patriots to somehow lose some of these games. Maybe the Bengals with Joe Burrow if he comes back in a couple weeks. Maybe the Jets steal one. I mean, the Bills and the Ravens, I think, can beat them, but they got to get another upset win down the line from the Patriots to lose, obviously.
Yeah. I think it's going to be tough because, the Bills at that point would have to win out too. So, I mean, they got to go on a serious run. Let's see what the thing about
going on the run too is Drake May's playing. I mean, he's a top 3-4 MVP candidate. You have Henderson had a breakout game. I mean, really, it was just 2 big runs, but he had a breakout game. Stephon Diggs is playing good ball. Christian Gonzalez is arguably the best corner in football this year. I mean, you have a good defense. Mike Vrabel is a great coach. Josh McDaniels is a great OC. Not a good head coach, but great OC. So what the Patriots have going on, they're playing with fire right now. Like they're cooking with grease right now.
Yeah, so their next few weeks, they got Tampa next week, which it looks like Godwin and Bucky Irvin's not going to be playing. So
again,
they'll be out again. I think Todd Bowles said there's no timetable on their return. So yeah, you'll get the beat up Bucks, then Houston. After that, Houston's they're starting to click. Yeah, they're starting to click right now. And right after that, you got to go to Pittsburgh and play them, and early December playing Cincinnati, which, depending on how Cincinnati's next 3 weeks go, you'll see if Burrow's in there or not. I think they're eyeing for him to come back against the Ravens game, but I would assume that's only if they can win these next 2 games before that. Then they got to play the Patriots, Browns defense, then the Eagles before they get their last game with the New York Jets.
Yeah, so they have a tough schedule. The Bills might be destined to be a wild card team, which is crazy to say. We might see the Bills and the Chiefs the same year. Could both be a wild card team. I mean, obviously, Chiefs have a little bit of work to do too. But yeah, I don't know, Luke. This is the Patriots. They're finding ways to win games. They're 8-2. They were 1-2. They're on a 7-game winning streak. They're a hot team right now. They're one of the hottest teams.
Yeah, they look good so far, and they're finally getting Henderson going. So I like seeing that for fantasy purposes.
Yeah. I like seeing it too because I think he's a good running back. Like I said, I mean, he had 2 big runs, and outside that, they were like the next 12 carries. He had 12 for 23 outside the 2 big ones, but he did have 2 big ones, and that makes a difference.
Yeah.
They did use them. I mean, they're actually using them a lot more. But yeah, this Patriots team, man, I said I thought they'd be a good team in 26 and maybe be a playoff team like with 9 wins. I had them at 8 or 9. So, you know, I was close. I just didn't think they're going to be this good this early in the tenure.
Yeah, I mean they look good so far. I mean, I think they should have went and traded for a couple more pieces before they trade the deadline, get another big time receiver or something like that. But I think that's the only thing that they're really missing. Defense is playing good football. They got a good running back. I think they just needed that one more. If they could have got like Olave or Shaheed, I think that'd been a really good addition to pair him up with Diggs.
Oh yeah, because Diggs, like I said, Diggs is playing pretty good ball. I mean, he's not looking like prime Stephon Diggs, but he's looking like a good he's looking like a good receiver.
Yeah.
But Luke, let's talk Monday Night Football's game and what an ugly game this was. The Eagles and Packers, 2 teams that we thought this could be a test to see which team is the best in the NFC. Turns out we think it's the Rams or Seahawks now. Luke, let's start with the Eagles. How disappointing are they in your eyes, and do you think they can fix it?
I just like there's so much talent on that offense, it just doesn't make sense. They have one of the best offensive lines, one of the best running backs, probably one of the best duos, probably second best duo at wide receiver. And I mean, it just doesn't make sense that it doesn't work. Like I don't know how this. I get it. Like everybody wants to talk about how good Jalen Hurts is. Yeah, he's good. Maybe once every 3 weeks, he'll have a game where he throws the ball around. But other than that, like what 15 for 26 for 183 yards.
Like, in the first half was pitiful. It was 0-0 at the first half.
Yeah, I mean they didn't. The first score is there's only one score in the third quarter. Then there's 2 touchdowns in the fourth.
Well, and I don't get it because the first drive they drove the ball, and I get it was a fumble, but after that, what the hell happened? I don't get how'd they get so cold after one drive?
Yeah, this game made no sense. So like the Eagles want to be the best team, or that they think they're one of the best teams. But I mean they win these ugly games. I'll give it to them. They find ways to win the ugly games. And the Packers are just the team that can't win an ugly game. That's all. Like their losses have been ugly games, and like to the
back-to-back home losses too. By the way,
yeah. So I mean, that's good because Ravens got to play the Packers later this season. So hopefully we can beat up on them too in Green Bay.
The thing with the Eagles, and I was listening to it. I mean, maybe it's right. I guess if Saquon's not getting 20-yard, 30-yard, 40-yard runs, he's getting like 3 and 4. Maybe they aren't as special. I mean, that doesn't. If he's getting bottled up, then AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, I just don't think they're not throwing the ball enough, and it's not creating space for Barkley. They're too one-dimensional this year. I understand they were a run-dominant team last year, but they threw the ball a lot more than I feel like they are this year. Now, I don't have the stats in front of me with that, but I just on an eye test, I feel like they throw the ball a lot more last year than they have this year. The defense is good, but when you play the Detroit Lions this week, I hate to say it, the Detroit Lions aren't the Green Bay Packers. They're going to play offense. So can you keep up with them? And I'm not expecting the Eagles to go drop 31 points or something like that on the Packers defense. They have a good defense in Green Bay. So, but more than 10 points, I would expect you to get like 20 plus. I mean, get in the 20s at least.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a cold night. I mean, I guess it's just how the tables went, but it sucks that was a primetime game.
Really, because we had high hopes for it. We all did.
Yeah, I mean, this slate of primetime games this week was just like pretty pitiful.
It was pitiful. The Broncos, Raiders sucked. The Chargers, Steelers sucked, and the Eagles and Packers. I had so many hopes for it, and it was bad. And Luke, I'm telling you right now, I've been saying it. The Packers are not contenders. I just don't believe they are. This offense is pitiful. I understand Micah Parsons is raving about, oh, look what we did against the Eagles offense. We held them to 10 points. I understand you got to say that. That's what you got to say.
Yeah, but Mike Parsons had he recorded like no stats.
Yeah, he got hurt to like flush him out a little bit, but yeah, he didn't really get any true pressures, true like tackles or anything.
No sacks. I think it's 2 weeks in a row for him too.
But like I said, like I got that emotional win week 1 against the Lions, and everyone wrote them. When they play the Lions Thanksgiving Day in Detroit, it's not going to be the same Detroit Lions team you played week 1. And your offense isn't the same offense you guys were week 1. I understand you got all these little receivers, but they're not number ones. Watson, I think, is good, but they're not even using him. And if it's not Josh Jacobs, no Tucker Kraft, by the way, the rest of the year, what is this offense? It's Josh Jacobs or bust to me.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the Packers are about done for the season. I think they're going to drop some more games this year, and I think they'll probably fall out of the wild card race.
I mean, you have the Giants this week. Okay, you have to go you play the Vikings. That could be any kind of game. You have to go to the Lions Thanksgiving. You have at home for the Bears, at the Broncos. The Broncos win ugly games too, but at the Bears, home for the Ravens, at the Vikings. They don't have an easy schedule. I really think they could lose half of those games if the other team's playing what we think they can play.
Yeah. So they could be on the outside of looking in at the playoffs.
I'm just not a big Jordan Love fan. I'm really not. I think he has those moments where he looks really great, and then he has those moments where he's really bad, and it's so far, like it just happens so often where it's not like, okay, he has 5-6 games in a row where he's good, and then he has a dud. It's like good, bad, good, good, bad, 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 good. I don't understand it. I mean, it's just, and to me, he tries to play like Aaron Rodgers way too much. Like the whole leaning backwards. Like, okay, Aaron Rodgers did it, but Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Like, you can't.
He probably had one of the best arm talents in the NFL.
Yeah,
especially in his time at Green Bay.
And it's not all in love. I'm not gonna say it's all in love. There have been some drops, but like against the Eagles, there was a lot of times where there were guys open and he's just not looking. He's not looking. He's not even. He's looking, just running. He doesn't want to look down the field. There's guys running down the field and he's just missing them.
Yeah, I'm off on the Packers.
I was never on. For the Packers.
I don't think I was either. I don't think I had them making the playoffs. I may have.
I have to go back. I think I had them, but it was like one of the lower seeds. But Luke, let's talk a team in that division, the Detroit Lions. And man, it appears Motor City Dan Campbell is calling plays for the offense, had the glasses on. And the big thing was he wanted to get all his weapons involved. And you know what? He did. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries for 142. David Montgomery, 15 for 71. Jameson Williams, 6 catches. LeSean Laporte and Monron, 5 catches. Raymond had 4 catches. Gibbs was involved in the passing game as well. Luke, do the Detroit Lions now figure out all along the offense needs to run through Dan Campbell, and the Detroit Lions are going to be fine?
I mean, I don't want to get too high on the Lions just from this game. I mean, they beat up a bad Commanders team. Like this Commanders team is bad. It's bad. So I don't want to get too high on it. Yeah, yes, this offense, this team did what they were supposed to do this week. They came in and they just fucking blew the doors off of them, offensively and defensively. I mean, Jared Goff, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 touchdowns for Gibbs. I mean, this team's rolling. I like seeing little J-No getting some action. I got him in the Dynasty League, so didn't play him this week, which is unfortunate, but I didn't need him.
No, I think this, Luke, I mean, we're going to see a good test at Philly, Sunday Night Football this week. But, I mean, I just think that this team, I mean, obviously, I'm a believer in the Lions. I've been like what I've been seeing the last couple of years. This is a special team. And the fact is, okay, they start all off a little slow, but they replace both coordinators. And that is going to maybe kind of create a little bit of a slow start. They're starting to figure it out. They're 6-3, for God's sakes. They're one game behind a lot of other teams. So it's not like they're that far from being the best team record-wise. And this defense isn't that bad, honestly. They're healthier this year than they were last year, which is a big sign. And then the offense is just the offense. I mean, you have arguably one of the best skill positions all around, between everyone involved. They drafted well, obviously brought in David Montgomery as well. So they have the talent there. Yeah. Jared Goff, if he could beat Jared Goff
for their draft too.
What was that?
We said we all flamed them for their draft picks too.
We flamed them for that Jahmyr Gibbs pick. I agree, and you know what?
I think we flamed them for the Laporta pick too.
I don't remember. I didn't personally flame them for the Laporta pick because they traded Hawkinson, so they got rid of Hawkinson and then they replaced him with, I think, Laporta the following year. I did flame them for the Jahmyr Gibbs pick. I did do that. I will say that. But I mean, and then, like I said, the Jared Goff Stafford trade, yeah, I get Stafford's won a Super Bowl, but it's still been a win for the Lions because if they didn't make that trade, they wouldn't have all these players they have. A lot of those picks came from the Matthew Stafford trade. So, and I get it, Stafford has got a Super Bowl, but I believe this has been a win-win for both teams. Now, if they win the Super Bowl, it's definitely a win-win, and I believe it's a bigger win for the Lions because they have all the youth behind that can keep going forward. But no, this is a good team, man. I'm not out on the Packers or the Lions. I think the Detroit Lions are just fine. I think I think my top 3 teams are both NFC West teams, and the Lions sit right there at 3. And I don't think they're that far behind the Lions and Seahawks. So I think the Lions, who do play the Rams this year, so we'll see that test later in the year in December. But I think the Lions are fine. I think they'll be at worst case 12-5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about them and their playoff seeding. I mean, they'll be in the dance for sure.
Yeah, they will. And a team that, Luke, we're going to talk about if they're going to be in the dance, that's Chicago Bears. They are 6-3 right now. They are a better team than they were officially last year. And they did escape against the New York Giants. Jackson Dart did get hurt and it did flip the game. But, hey, you found a way to win. Luke, the second half of the schedule isn't the easiest for them. The last remaining 8 games, can we see the Chicago Bears in the NFC playoff picture? Can we see them getting in the playoffs for the NFC?
Yeah, I mean, this offense right now is they're clicking pretty well. I mean, I get like they've had a couple tough weeks. Let me see your schedule. I know last week they had a tough one with the Cincinnati Bengals, but that's the defense's fault. I mean, Caleb Williams did what he had to do to win that game, but that defense can, like, 2 weeks in a row, just been pretty bad overall. You know, letting the Giants be up on you that big early. I get the Giants they have a good defense too, but God, being down, they were down like 12, 13 points at some point.
It was 17. It was oh fuck. I have it right here. It was 20-10. So 17-10 going the fourth, but it was 20-10, and then they scored the unanswered points to win the game. But I just think their schedule's challenging, and I mean, you have to go to the Vikings. We've already seen them lose at home to the Vikings. You play Aaron Rodgers, who owns the Chicago Bears. You're at the Eagles, at the Packers. You play a tough Browns defense. You got to host the Packers. You got to go to the Niners. Which Niners team do we get at that time of the year? And then you do host the Lions, so who blew you out earlier in the year. I could see them. I could see them at 10 wins. I could see them at 8 wins and just missing the playoffs. I think the Bears are going to be in that hunt. But like you said, which defense are we going to get? And can Caleb Williams keep progressing like they're doing? And can they keep running the ball? That's the big thing. Is can they run the ball? They have Magnai and DeAndre Swift playing good football at the moment. Can the Bears defense get it going? And can Caleb Williams just keep being consistent?
Yeah, I think what helps them is the rest of their division's pretty kind of down too. So I mean, they're tied for first place in their division. All they got to do is just kind of maintain that.
Yeah, they do. They're tied for first, and they're ahead of the Packers. I mean, at the worst case, they're second place in the division because the Packers have a tie against the Cowboys. But yeah, it's good. You know, we'll see now. I mean, we have Doc all hyped up. He's ready to go. It's going to be an exciting
big matchup this weekend for the Chats.
I can't wait for that one.
I know.
Yeah, Doc and Riz team playing each other. We saw it week 1, and it's going to be electric. Luke, let's talk the AFC North. And don't look now. The Baltimore Ravens are 1 game back. Is it the Baltimore Ravens division?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, we still play the Steelers twice this year. Then we still got to play the Bengals twice this year, and then the Browns one more time. So we've only played 1 division game so far, and our division's having like a down year. So I mean, we can afford to lose a couple of these games and still win the division, which I don't want us to, but our schedule's not very difficult.
This is the Ravens division. It's the Ravens division. Yeah. Vegas had it as the Ravens division. The Steelers,
and it's our Vegas had us with 2 wins and winning the division. Still,
they did it. And you know what? Your schedule, to me, I think you can afford to lose a game here. I mean, you don't have the toughest schedule left. You have the Browns, who you historically own. You have the Jets. You get the Bengals twice and the Steelers twice. The Patriots and the Packers. So I do believe this division will be the Baltimore Ravens. I don't believe the Bengals or the Steelers win this division whatsoever. I believe Lamar and them at 12-5, maybe even. I'm sorry, you guys are 5 wins now. 11-6 at the worst case, maybe even 10-7. You could win this division. So I believe the Baltimore Ravens are going to win this division, and they will have a home game led by Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I mean, obviously, I'm going to agree with you on that. But I don't care who's at quarterback for the Bengals, which Joe it is. I mean, Joe Flacco. I'd probably rather play Burrow on Thanksgiving Day on a short week coming off a turf toe injury than playing Joe Flacco. I mean, because Joe Flacco's been playing better than Burrow did before he got hurt. I get like the Bengals were winning games with Burrow, but this defense has only gotten worse week to week. It is the worst defense in the NFL, and I don't see them being able to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, they're going to have to score 45 points if they want to win that game. And our defense is starting to click now. I mean, we're starting to get it figured out. Now we got Gilman from the Chargers that's opened up Kyle Hamilton to step down in the box where he thrives down there. I mean, I get it. Kyle Hamilton can play anywhere on the field and he'll thrive, but that just frees him up to get after the pass. I mean, we have to use him as a pass rusher just because we got no pass rush. But our secondary is looking good. I get Marlon Humphrey might miss a week or two. He's deciding if he's got to get finger surgery. I think he broke his finger this last week. But, I mean, Nate Wiggins is playing good football too. Malachi Stark's got his second pick of the season. So, I mean, his defense is starting to click.
Yeah, it's kind of like last year. Defense started off a little bad last year, obviously, and then the defense started to find its way the second half of the season, and it kind of is showing the same thing. Now, obviously, this year you had a little more, you had more problems on the offensive end because Lamar got hurt. Even when Lamar was there, your offense was a little shaky at some moments. No, but I believe this is the division set up for you guys. You don't want to play the Ravens right now. You do not want to see Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, because they feel like they're in win now mode. Like they have to win. They feel majority of their schedule. Like you said, maybe one loss, maybe two losses at the worst case you can get in, but they feel like they have to win out. They feel like they have to do it. So you're playing a determined Ravens team led by a two-time MVP, a rushing leader, but a couple times in his career. You know, good defense now, start heating up. I feel bad for the rest of the AFC North.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him though.
I
can't wait. I can't wait to watch it. I get the Steelers players tough. We'll see what Steelers offense and defense shows up when we actually play them. Sometimes the defense looks good, sometimes they look bad, and sometimes the offense looks good. Other times it looks really bad, like it did last week.
Yeah, so we're going to go test Luke. Speaking of a test, the Denver Broncos, we don't know which test they're taking every single week because they're 8-2. And they're tied with the Colts and the Patriots at that best record in the AFC. But which Broncos team shows up? Are we going to get a good Bo Nix or not? Now, the defense is the defense. But, Luke, we mentioned the Bills being contenders and pretenders. What are the Denver Broncos truly to you?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get this offense. Like, they got, like, the talent. I mean, I think all of us are pretty high on this Broncos offense coming into the year with J.K. Dobbins, Bo Nix, my boy
Sutton,
Harvey.
Yeah, Sutton, Ingram.
So, but this offense, it feels like that they hit some big plays here and there, and they just stall out on drives. Like they'll drive down the field and stall out. I'm like it just doesn't make sense for a Sean Payton offense. That it's just not clicking. Defense playing great though.
Defense is amazing, but I just don't get what Sean Payton's. I understand Bo's not playing great, and I feel like their receivers are dropping passes, and then I just feel like Sean Payton he's just calling terrible plays, and I don't get it. Now their schedule's not tough remaining. Yeah, you got the Chiefs twice, the Packers, and the Chargers, but I really don't think this is that hard of a schedule. I mean, I would not be shocked if somehow they are 13-4 or something like that going forward in the playoff hunt or the playoff time. I believe the offense can get going, and maybe when they get their bye week after this week against the Chiefs, maybe the offense does hit something. But this is a good test. You're home against the Chiefs this week, so we'll see what the Denver Broncos look like against a good team. We think the Chiefs are still good, so Chiefs 5-4.
Yeah, Chiefs in must-win games now too. So I mean, I think they're coming off the bye too this week.
Yes,
so
they are.
Andy Reid off a bye. I mean, pretty sure his record's pretty good coming off a bye week.
Yeah, one of the best coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe the Broncos are a good team. I think they are contenders because his defense is so scary, and I do believe the Broncos are going to figure it out. I got to keep believing in them. I mean, they're not looking good. I'll say that they're not a good offense at the moment. They're too much of a roller coaster.
No, it's very similar to the Eagles. It's same thing. So they're the Eagles of the AFC.
The difference with the Eagles are we've seen them go to the Super Bowl and win it, and we have not seen the Broncos do that. So we know the Eagles can click out of it because we know who they are. Truthfully, the Broncos have yet to show it on a consistent basis on a yearly basis. So we'll see, man. Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Luke, last game aspect that we're going to talk Falcons, Colts. Let's start with the Colts. You know, Jonathan Taylor, should he be MVP? Well, we can talk that. But Luke, are the Colts, because the Colts offense, I get John Taylor at 200 yards plus, but the offense has been a little skittish the last couple of weeks. They weren't the best offense this past week against the Colts or the Falcons. Don't let the score fool you. Are the Colts offense going to start to slowly bring them back a little bit?
I don't know. Like this, the offense is good. I mean, I think Danny Dimes he's looked a little off these last couple of weeks, and I don't know what it is. Maybe he's just coming back down to reality a little bit of the quarterback that we all know he is. I mean, he is surrounded by talent. And he's a good team, and you got the best running back in the NFL right now, John Taylor, just going absolutely bananas this season. 3 games, 3 touchdowns. It's insane. So I mean. But if they can't run the football like that, this Colts team is going to be in a lot of trouble. I get the defense is playing good and all that, but
make that 4 games with 3 touchdowns.
Oh, 4.
He had 3 rushing touchdowns this past week.
Yeah,
it's the third game with 3 rushing touchdowns in the game, but it's the 4th game with 3 total touchdowns in the game because he had 1 with 2 rushing and a receiving. So yeah, he's got 12 touchdowns. I'm sorry, he's got 12 touchdowns in just 4 games alone.
Damn. Yeah, that's insane. Like this Colts team would be way different if he's not playing.
No, it'd be way different, and I do believe that's kind of why he's the MVP. Like he's one of the top 2. I mean, I think he's the MVP. What I think they would vote as a quarterback, that's what I would think they would go as quarterback. But
he'd be offensive player of the year.
Yeah, offensive player of the year at the worst case. But no, I don't think the offense is going to I don't think the offense kind of brings. I think they do start to lose some games here. I don't think they're going to be the top seed in the AFC when it's all said and done. I think their schedule is a little challenging going forward. And I think they do come back a little reality to earth with Daniel Jones. But I believe this is still the best team in the AFC South. I still believe this is a 4 or 5 loss team at the worst case. I get they're 8-2. They do have a bye week now. But defense is good. I believe the offense is just fine. I don't believe they're true contenders for the Super Bowl. I just don't think they are.
I have a hard time trusting Danny Dimes.
That's what it is. I think Daniel Jones is fine right now. But unlike the Sam Darnold effect, I know the Seahawks defense is special. The Colts defense is good, but they're not special. I know Jonathan Taylor's good, and he's playing amazing. But if they key in him in the playoffs, what's Daniel Jones going to do in the playoffs? That's the thing. So
they're one Jonathan Taylor away from losing a lot of games if he goes down with an injury,
or if he just gets balled up too. If he gets balled up, and must-win game, like what's Daniel Jones going to do? It didn't look good against the Steelers. And he wasn't special against the Falcons. I mean, I know they won, but Jonathan
Taylor, he was special.
Yeah, 244 rushing yards. When you're averaging 6 yards a carry, almost 8 yards a carry, it's gonna work out. Now, they win the South, in my opinion, but I don't believe they are Super Bowl contenders. Luke, the Falcons, I just don't know what the hell what they are. We have so many moments. We're talking like the Broncos, and like they have this offense is good one couple drives here, and they're bad the rest of the game. That's the division of the Falcons. I mean, I just don't understand how we don't have a consistent offensive game plan on a weekly basis. So I don't get it whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean the Falcons defense is playing good. Besides, couldn't stop Jonathan Taylor on the run game, but passing defense was played pretty well against the Colts. I think you guys got what 4 sacks or 5 sacks on
7 sacks.
Oh shit.
We had 7 sacks, and we had 7 sacks, and we lost in overtime, 31-25. We had a great defensive game plan against Daniel Jones.
Yeah, just not Jonathan Taylor.
Not against Jonathan Taylor, the best player on the team.
Yeah, but like you said, your offense, Penix will look good for a drive, then it'll look bad for a drive, or you'll have some big drops on a drive. Like I think Pitts had a really big drop during the game. I think you had a couple other people had some.
Mooney had a big drop at the end of the fourth quarter. Now I'm not saying we would have gotten to field goal range or anything, but you get the ball to like the 40-42 yard line. Penix has a cannon. He can make a throw, and then we have one timeout left. Maybe he hits London over the middle, and now we're set up for like a 50-yard field goal. I mean, I'm not saying it happens, but that just it went out the window there.
Yeah, so I mean, drops. Penix like when he's under pressure, he looks off a little bit. I think he gets a little scared to take these big hits. I don't know, but sometimes he's just dotting up the defense, and then another drive he's just missing people by 10 yards.
I feel like when I get this, because like I don't like to label guys like bust or anything like that, but when I'm watching him, he definitely is a first year starter. You can see it. He has these big up and down games. I believe some of his mechanics and his footwork's off a little bit. I believe his feet are not properly aligned. He kind of panics, gets a little scared, and he doesn't trust his arm when he is getting pressured. It feels like, but when he is not getting pressured, it's like he can deliver to any part of the field. So I get it. He's a first year starter. He's going to have his flows, but 3-6. When you have one of the better defenses in football, you have one of the better the talent around you with Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan. I just don't get it. Zach Robinson's potentially or Raheem Morris shutting down, but a lot of rumors are that he's going to get fired as OC after year 2. So
You might have to. Like you got all this talent on the offense. You got first round picks everywhere on the offense.
we do,
and just can't get it figured out.
And it's so
on a consistent basis.
Yeah, on a very consistent basis. I obviously, if we want to do anything, we gotta pretty much win out or lose only one. And we have some tough games left. So we don't have a first round pick. Obviously, that came in expensive getting James Pierce Jr. I'm not too mad about it. I'm mad because we're a top 10 pick and we don't have a first round pick. But James Pierce is a good pass rusher. So instead of drafting a pass rusher this year, we drafted him this past year. So yes, that's the way you have to think about it. You just pretty much say you drafted James Pierce Jr. a year early. So it sucks that we don't have a pick. It goes to the Rams.
Yeah. I mean, the Rams, it looks like they're going to top 10 pick. So
yeah.
Good for them.
At the moment, yeah. Luke,
they'll have a pick probably around, 28, 30 too.
Yeah, anywhere from like 28 to 32, depending on where they're playing. Luke, let's talk the New York Giants. And the reason why they made this list is because Brian Daboll got fired. Do you believe Brian Daboll should have been fired with everything that's been going on with all the injuries and whatnot? Do you believe he's part of the problem?
No, I don't think he should have been fired right now. Maybe at the end of the season, depending on how the rest of the season went. But all right, you get tough dealt a tough hand. Like you lose your running back Scatterboo, you lose Malik Neighbors, Darts. I mean, I think he got fired because he's using Dart as a battering ram. That's probably why. Because Dart's had 4 times he's been evaluated for concussion, and I think he was diagnosed this week with an actual concussion, so he'll probably miss next week. So I mean that tough look, but I mean, I think we all knew the Giants when they went to Dart that the season. I don't think they were going to come back anyways. I mean, Dart's playing good football though. It kind of sucks that Brian Daboll is pretty good with historically with quarterbacks, but now they're doing the same thing the Bears did, and then you got Dart for a year, and you give him a new head coach and new coaching staff. So hopefully they can bring in the right guy. But I don't think Daboll should have been fired yet. I think he should have been at least given the opportunity to finish the season. Now I think this GM, he should probably be fired. I don't understand why they like him so much. They just deal off their best players.
See, that's the thing is I don't get it. Like, so the Dolphins fired their general manager, right? So in my mind, you're saying that the Dolphins believe the general manager didn't orchestrate a good team together, like they didn't piece the team together, which I believe the team has actually had talent in Miami, and it's a coaching problem. You then say for the New York Giants, the coach is the problem, the players are good. And I think they do have some good players in New York, don't get me wrong. And they have blown some of these double-digit leads, and maybe that's what this is all stemming to from. You were up 10 points and you lose by 4. Another game, you blew a big lead. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see. I think Daboll could have probably lasted the rest of the year. But when your record is what your record is, too, it's the worst record in Giants history with winning percentage, and it's probably time to go, too. So it sucks for Jackson Dart, but maybe they'll find the right guy. Like maybe they find like a guy like Ben Johnson for Caleb Williams. Maybe you find that guy.
Oh, John Gruden's coming in.
Joe Brady.
Well, that'd be interesting. I mean, this coaching, like college and NFL coaching cycle is probably pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is. Well, Luke, let's jump into some college football. Something that we haven't actually talked in a while here, and things are starting to heat up. This on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, is the CFP rankings. Well, not the full rankings. This is what the bracket would look like with the top 25. The 2 teams that did get booted out are Oklahoma sitting at number 11 and BYU coming off their loss against Texas Tech, who's number 12. That is because you had to have Miami come in for the ACC and USF come in for the best group of 5 team. from the AAC, I believe is where they're from. So, Luke, this week, do we believe that the CFP got it right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really say. But top 5, I completely agree with. I mean, top 5 is top 5. I mean, all these teams are playing good football.
Nothing changed for them, by the way.
Yep, nothing changed for top 5. Texas Tech jumping up 2 spots. I'm okay with that. I don't know if they should. I'm not sure if they should have jumped Ole Miss or not, but I don't hate that move, jumping Ole Miss.
You can live with that. You can live with either or being 6 or 7. It's interchangeable.
Yeah, I mean both 9-1 teams. I think Texas Tech probably has a better ranked win now than Ole Miss does. I can't remember.
Ole Miss's best win. They beat number 3 at the time, Oklahoma, 34-26 in OU. They beat number 4, the LSU, 24-19. So like your big wins. So you played 3 ranked games.
LSU's unranked now, and OU's at number 11.
Number 11, that's respectable. But
so like I have the current standings. Texas Tech has the better win. Well, not anymore because BYU fell behind Oklahoma.
They have the better win, and their loss came against Arizona State, who was unranked. So they lost to Georgia in Georgia.
So I don't know. I mean, they can flip those ones. Oregon, fine with that. Not fine with Notre Dame. Notre Dame hasn't beaten anybody good this season. Their best 2 top ranked teams that they've played, they've lost to.
They beat USC, who was 20, but
other than that, like losing to Miami and A&M.
Escaping Boston College.
Yeah. I think they should probably be now down by like the 13, 14, 15 spot. Honestly, but I think, Notre Dame brings a lot of money for college football. So huge fan base. So they're going to get a little extra love from the CFP. That's just the way it is.
I mean, it is what it is. They are a powerful fan base.
Yeah, Texas, Oklahoma. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with BYU going back. Utah. I mean, I think they were on a bye week this week. I don't remember the playing.
They didn't even move. They stayed right
out. Yep. So that's Vandy. I can see Vandy going up a spot or 2 higher than that. Vandy had. I get it. Like they're playing Auburn, but they played. Their defense struggled against Auburn, but they survived it. They found a way to win it. And Auburn coming off like that, the fire coach game. So that game after having their coach fired, teams usually play a lot tougher. Yeah. Miami, I don't like them at all.
Yeah, they had to throw the AC. I mean, Georgia Tech's right behind them, and Virginia and Louisville right down the road.
The rest from like 15 down, I don't really care.
It looks like ACC will only get 1 team this year. The G5 school or the G5 schools only get 1 representative. I mean, I get it, Luke.
Big 12 maybe gets 2, most likely 1. Depends on how the rest of the season goes for BYU and Texas Tech.
Well, BYU would need like Texas, OU, Notre Dame, or somebody else to start losing too, so that they can get.
Yeah, I'm saying that I could see second Big 12 team making it just because they have BYU at 12 right now. So I mean, inevitably somebody above them is going to have to lose because there's multiple teams that play each other still left in the.
My big gripe, and I can't believe I'm going to stick up for Oklahoma, but Texas and Oklahoma should both be, and BYU should all be ahead of Notre Dame. I understand we lost to Florida. I understand Texas lost to the Gators. Get it. Bad loss. We lost to Ohio State. Probably we're the best team that we did we did the best. We were the best team against them so far this year. But then we also beat OU. We were unranked. They were 6. Neutral site. It's nothing more neutral can you get than splitting it down the middle. So neutral site. We won big, and then we also we kind of handed Vandy. Vandy did come back towards the end with a little bit of false hope, but we won. We beat a top tier ranked team. We beat I think they were number 10 or number 9 in the nation at the time.
They're 9.
So they were 9, and Vandy or Notre Dame hasn't played anyone special. And when they did, they lost both games. And now look at Miami. Now they're on a 2-game losing streak. A&M is A&M. I'll give them that. But
I put Notre Dame all the way down past. I put them right behind Miami or Georgia Tech. Put them right there.
I get it. I'm not trying to vouch for Texas to be this powerhouse, but I just believe. Well, I understand our losses worse than their losses, but our wins are better than their wins. And I understand we struggled against Kentucky and all that, but we're playing hot ball right now. I mean, Arch has been playing good. Defense has still been good. We have the talent. I mean, obviously, we have a big test ahead of us. So, like, we can control playing Georgia, Arkansas, and A&M. And by the way, 2 of those schools are in the top 5. So
yeah, it's tough little stretch for you guys.
My
you do get A&M at home at least.
Yeah, we went to A&M last year and won, but a little different team than A&M was last year. But I believe we will beat A&M. I'm also more of Georgia because it's this week, but I just don't believe Notre Dame should be in the top 12. And I mean, I just don't. I mean, I don't believe that they've earned it and that they deserve it. Not saying that they can't earn it and deserve it going forward, but I just don't believe it. I really don't believe that they should be. And I'm praying that they lose the Pitt so that Pitt knocks them out.
Yeah, if they lose again, they're done for the season.
And they should be. They should be. But Luke, what an episode, man. And it was a fun one. It was good to talk. Like I said, it was good to talk football, college as well.
Yeah.
Man, we are getting there. We're just past the halfway mark for the NFL. And now we are almost there for college football. We only have 3 games for most teams left. Some teams have 2 teams left. A lot of teams have 3. So we're getting down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean, college football is pretty much starting to figure itself out here.
So. It is. There's some chaos that could still be made here. So
I'm sure there will be. I think there's been some chaos scenarios every week so far in college football.
Yes, there is.
So a lot of teams getting upset, and hopefully we're going to see some more upsets coming up because it's fun to root for the underdog sometimes.
Yeah, pretty big week this week. Pitt, Notre Dame, Coach College game day, Texas, Georgia, and Georgia at night. OU, Alabama. That's a big game for both teams there too. OU needs it, Bama needs it. So big games coming up here, Luke. But good episode tomorrow. Next episode we'll be back to preview week 11 of the NFL season. See how we did week 10, and let's just predict some of these games and have fun projecting what's going on. Luke, shout out to you, shout out to Chris, shout out to Doc, shout out to Jake. I'm Mark Davis, All About the Balls podcast. Have a good one.
Thank you for checking out another episode of All About the Balls podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and supporters of the Sack House. You can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at the Sack House.